It was supposed to be a simple promise, just one game, one night, one moment that actually mattered. But what if that promise becomes the one thing Jason Morgan can't keep? And what if breaking it changes everything? Because right now Jason is about to let down the two people who trust him the most, and the worst part is, he may not even get the chance to explain why. Jason Morgan has always been a man of action, not words. He doesn't make promises lightly, and when he does, he keeps them. That's who he is. But this time, even Jason might be stepping into something he can't control. Something dangerous, something that could pull him away at the exact moment he's needed the most. Let's start with Danny. Because this is where it gets emotional. Danny Morgan has already accepted something most kids never should. That his father isn't always going to be there. Not because he doesn't care, but because danger always follows Jason. Still, Danny tried to understand. He didn't ask too many questions when Jason said he had to leave town to help someone in trouble. Jason didn't give details, but he didn't need to. Danny saw it in his eyes. That look that says this isn't optional, this is something he has to do. And instead of fighting it, Danny did something incredibly mature. He accepted it. No argument, no guilt, just quiet understanding. But before Jason left, Danny asked for one thing. Just one. His basketball team made it to the finals, the biggest game of his life. The moment every kid dreams about. And all Danny wanted was his dad in the stands. He didn't beg. He didn't make it emotional. He just told Jason the time and waited. And Jason promised. He said he'd be there. For a moment it felt real. Like maybe this time would be different. Like maybe Jason could actually show up and be there for his son. But here's the problem. This is Jason Morgan's life. And nothing in his world ever stays simple for long. Because while Danny is holding on to that promise, something else is already happening behind the scenes. Something dangerous, something that could destroy everything before Jason even gets the chance to try. General Hospital spoilers are pointing toward a devastating twist. Jason may not miss Danny's game by choice. He may not even be able to call or send a message. Because Jason could be taken, kidnapped before he ever gets the chance to make it back. And if that happens, Danny won't just be disappointed. He'll be heartbroken. Imagine that moment, Danny standing on the court, scanning the crowd, looking for his father, holding on to that promise, believing he's coming. But Jason never shows. No message, no explanation, just silence, and that silence says everything. But Danny isn't the only one about to be left waiting. Because there's someone else putting her trust in Jason right now. Someone who believes that this time he won't walk away. Britt Westbourne. At the Brown Dog Bar, Britt had a conversation that felt like more than just talk. It felt like a warning. She sat across from Brad Cooper, trying to stay confident, trying to believe in something she's not used to trusting, Jason. Because for Britt, trust has never come easy. Not in love. Not in life. And definitely not with someone like Jason Morgan. But this time, she's choosing to believe. She's convinced Jason won't abandon her. That what they have is real. But Brad doesn't see it that way. The more Britt talks about Jason, the more certain she sounds, the more worried Brad becomes. Because in his mind, Britt is setting herself up for a massive letdown. And he tells her that. Straight to her face. He warns her that Jason is going to bail, that she's making a huge mistake, that she's trusting the wrong man. And for just a second, you can see it, that flicker of doubt in Britt's eyes. Because no matter how strong she tries to be, those old insecurities are still there, waiting to come back. So now the question becomes, what happens if Jason doesn't show up? From Britt's perspective, there's only one explanation. He left. He chose to run without her. And if Brad's words start echoing in her mind, this could break her all over again. But what if Britt realizes something is wrong? What if she senses that this isn't Jason's choice? Because deep down, she knows him. And if Jason disappears without warning, without a signal, without a plan, that's not who he is. That's something else. Something dangerous. But even if Britt figures that out, there's one problem. She may not be able to do anything about it. Because Ross Cullum is already starting to get suspicious. Cullum has been watching closely. He caught Marco Rios trying to get Britt's medication out of the safe, and that alone raised red flags. But then Marco lied, and that's when things really started to click. Because in Cullum's world, people don't take risks like that without a reason. So now he's thinking, watching, connecting the dots, and what he might be realizing could change everything. Because if Britt is planning something, if there's an escape in motion, there's only one person who would help her pull it off. Jason Morgan. And once Cullum reaches that conclusion, he's not going to sit back and wait. He's going to act. Now imagine this. Jason is on his way, possibly preparing to make his move, maybe even planning to take a shot at Cullum. Everything is lining up, everything is about to happen. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, someone steps in from behind. No warning, no time to react. Just darkness. In that moment, Jason loses control of everything, and now neither Danny nor Britt will get what they were promised. But here's the real question: who took Jason? And why now? Because if this was Cullum's move, then this isn't just about stopping an escape. This is about control. And if Jason is out of the picture, even temporarily, Britt is left alone, exposed, with no way out. And Danny is about to learn a painful truth, that sometimes even the strongest promises can be broken, not by choice, but by circumstances no one can control. And just when it feels like things couldn't get worse, that's when the next twist is about to begin. Jason Morgan is gone. And the scariest part is, no one knows where he is. One moment he was moving forward with a plan, ready to handle things the only way he knows how, and the next, he's completely off the grid. No calls, no messages, no sign of life. And for the people waiting on him, that silence is about to hit hard. Let's go back to Danny. Because right now he has no idea what's coming. The game has already started. The crowd is loud, the energy is high, and this is everything he worked for. But even in the middle of it all, Danny keeps glancing toward the stands. Not because he's distracted, but because he's waiting. Waiting for that one familiar face. Waiting for his dad. At first, he tells himself Jason is just running late. That he'll walk in any second. That promise still feels real in his mind. But as the game goes on, as the minutes tick by, that confidence slowly starts to fade. Because deep down, Danny knows how this usually ends. And then it happens. That quiet moment when hope turns into realization. Jason isn't coming. You can almost see it in Danny's expression. That shift, that small crack in his confidence. He keeps playing, he keeps pushing, but something inside him changes. Because this wasn't just about a game, this was about trust. About believing that this time would be different. And now, it feels like history just repeated itself. But here's the truth Danny doesn't know. Jason didn't choose this. He didn't forget. He didn't break that promise on purpose. He never even got the chance. Because wherever Jason is right now, he's not free. And if the situation is as bad as it looks, he may be fighting just to survive. Now shift to Britt. Because her situation is unraveling just as fast. After that conversation with Brad, something didn't sit right with her. At first she tried to brush it off, tried to stay confident, but the longer Jason stays silent, the louder those doubts become. Brad's words start echoing in her mind over and over again. That Jason is going to bail, that she's trusting the wrong person, that she's about to get hurt. And Britt hates that feeling, not because she believes Brad, but because a part of her is scared he might be right. But then something changes. The more she thinks about it, the more it doesn't add up. Jason disappearing without a word. That's not his style. Not when there's a plan, not when someone is depending on him, and especially not when that someone is her. So now Britt is caught between two thoughts. Either Jason walked away, or something stopped him. And if it's the second one, that means things are a lot more dangerous than she realized. Meanwhile, Ross Cullum is already making his move. By now he's pieced together enough to know something is off. Marco's actions, the medication, the lies, it all points to one thing: an escape plan. And Cullum isn't the kind of man who lets people outplay him. So he acts first. And if Jason is part of that plan, then Jason becomes the target. Now imagine Jason regaining consciousness. Disoriented. maybe restrained, maybe injured. The kind of situation where even someone like him is at a disadvantage. Because this wasn't a fair fight. This was calculated, planned, and executed at the perfect moment. Jason might not even know who took him yet. But one thing is clear. This wasn't random. Someone wanted him out of the way. And they got exactly what they wanted. Because now everything is falling apart. Danny feels abandoned. Britt feels uncertain. And Jason is completely cut off from both of them. But the ripple effect is just beginning. Back at the game, Danny pushes through. He gives everything he has. Every shot, every move, every second on that court. It's like he's trying to prove something. Maybe to his team. Maybe to himself. Or maybe to the father who isn't there to see it. And whether they win or lose almost doesn't matter anymore. Because the moment he walks off that court, the first thing he's going to notice is the empty space where Jason should have been. And that's the moment that's going to stay with him. Now back to Britt. Because she's not the type to sit still for long. If something feels wrong, she's going to act. The question is, how far will she go to find out the truth? And what happens if she digs too deep? Because if Cullum is already suspicious, Britt making moves could put her directly in danger. She's already walking a thin line. One wrong step, one wrong question, and she could expose everything. But at the same time, doing nothing might be worse. Because if Jason is in trouble, every second counts. And Britt knows that. So now we're heading toward a collision of choices. Danny dealing with disappointment. Britt chasing answers. And Jason stuck in a situation that could spiral out of control at any moment. And the biggest twist of all, this might only be the beginning. Because Jason's exit isn't going to be simple. It's not going to be clean. It's going to come with consequences. Emotional ones. Dangerous ones. The kind that change relationships and push people into decisions they can't take back. So now the real question is, what happens next? Does Danny start pulling away from Jason for good? Does Britt lose faith in him completely? Or will the truth come out just in time to change everything? And more importantly, will Jason even get the chance to fix this? Because right now he's running out of time, and if he doesn't get free soon, the damage he never meant to cause might become permanent. So tell me this. If you were Danny, would you forgive Jason for missing that game? Or would that broken promise be the moment everything changes? And if you were Britt, would you trust Jason enough to believe something went wrong, or walk away before he hurts you again? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this storyline is just getting started and it's about to get even more intense. And if you want daily General Hospital spoilers, recaps and predictions just like this, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned, because the next twist might be even bigger than this one.